Hey guys, what's up? My name is FrostBolt and welcome to the video. This is going to be a little bit different than your typical PvP live commentary. I'm going to do a post commentary over a intense Gambit Prime match that I had. But throughout this video, I want you to expect me to talk about why I like the game mode and why I play it, what my thoughts are about it, and including the Season of the Drifter. As well, I'm going to talk about how to stay composed, how I deal with stress, frustration when I'm playing the game, because usually from your perspective, you're always seeing me really calm and collective, right? And also how to replicate a comeback situation, how to even make games as close as they are and how to replicate the experience, because believe it or not, making comebacks, having close games, as annoying they may be sometimes, they're pretty fun, and I'd rather be invested in the match. I have a mode where it gets my attention to actually want to try to some extent rather than not really care about the match at all and just zone out, right? But anyways, to start things off, let's talk about the game mode itself, Gambit Prime. Now this mode I think is a huge upgrade from the regular Gambit playlist, because it just feels a little bit more investing. You get more of your attention in it, your interest is caught more by how you need to keep playing. You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep collecting motes. The portal's going on. There's just constant action, constant moving, constant decision making as you play, and I really like that. Now I grinded the Reckoning armor so I can get my invader set. Those perks are all awesome and stuff like that. Don't really want to talk about too much about that, but there's always been these weaknesses to the playlist that Gambit Prime suffers, as well as regular Gambit, and that was like the abundance of power ammo, right? Like first it was Sleeper Simulant, the one-shot body shots. Oh my goodness, don't get me started. And then there was Queenbreaker's Bow. At that point, I ended up quitting Gambit. That was before Gambit Prime was released, because it was just lame, man. I loved being able to invade with my sniper, my primary, and get kills with that without having to rely on a power weapon to get my kills. So now that we have Gambit Prime, that has kind of subdued, like the issue has gone away a little bit. I feel like I can invade with a sniper rifle and make some plays with a hand cannon, and I don't know what that deals with. Maybe it's the invader overshield from the perks. It could be a lot of different factors, correct? But obviously there's still the machine gun spam. Let's not get that twisted. Machine gun, it still rules Gambit, and even though it ruins the mode sometimes and it ruins it for a lot of people, it's kind of one of those things where I can kind of deal with it. It's not really, it's bad, but it's like, it's not as bad as getting one shot body shotted by a sleeper or a Queenbreaker. So I guess that's the difference, right? Those weapons were just kind of aim, point, and you're dead instantly, while machine guns kind of give you a little bit of room to maneuver around and even outplay the person with a super, or bait some shots, or even outgun them themselves sometimes, because hey, people can't really aim with machine guns sometimes. Anyways, at this point in the game, by the way, we have been getting destroyed. We got 0 motes. I'm kind of salty right now. I think I got kind of quiet so I can stay composed. It's better to not open my mouth, because if I open my mouth, I'm more than likely gonna complain about something. So if I keep my mouth shut, then I'm not distracting myself from what's going on in the game. If I say something, I'm basically thinking, and I'm allowing myself to focus on the words that are coming out of my mouth. Like I'm letting it be a mentality, right? It's kind of weird to explain. So by me not really saying much, I keep my eyes on the screen. Well, I'm paying attention to the screen. My brain is realizing that I'm still focused, right? Rather than being distracted thinking what else I want to say or what I'm even saying. So I even check if they're a 4-man fire team. Yeah, once I saw that, dude, that's when I got triggered. That's when they triggered me. I was like, all right, it is a 4-man fire team, and I don't like playing teams either in Gambit Prime. That's one of the weaknesses these modes suffer, and you would probably highly agree. It's like, dude, I don't play solo because it's almost impossible to win these games when you're playing against fire teams. And I agree to some extent. It is really annoying. Like, even to me, I just feel like it kills the vibe. It kills my mood. I go from having a fun solo versus solo match, and there's no obvious advantage on any teams. Everybody has their own weight to carry. But when you have a fire team, it just feels like, man, everybody's scattered on your team, but they just feels so coordinated. It feels like you're playing a calm match, in a solo playlist, right? So I'm just like, whoa, bro, what do I do? But I put my eyes on focus, right? I just make sure I'm like, okay, gotta get these modes, make the game as close as possible. That's step one. I'm not too focused on winning. I'm not too focused on destroying them in the other side so I can heal the Primeval. I'm focused on catching up. That's modes number one. We gotta get our Primeval up, and then the invader thing was like a second thing. I could do it, but at this point I was, like I said, I was more focused on the motes. So now I see the Primeval's half. I just banked my motes and the portal's open. I figured it's a good convenience. Let me take this opportunity. I go for the 2 snipes. You know, looking for the 3rd player. You don't want to waste time. You want to rush. You got a couple seconds. People hide from you. You don't want to give them room to run away. Things like that. Also, another thing, you know, work with your strengths and your loadout. So in this particular loadout, I don't usually use ward cliffs, but I had a bounty that required me to get rocket launcher kills. So I didn't have the strongest weapon to my disposal, which being a hammerhead machine gun, because that would allow me to get multi kills over and over when I invaded. So I worked with what I got. You know, I went for the long range snipes. I hit my shot, and then I went for the easy 1 rocket kill. So now that I'm back, going back to focusing on modes, I want to catch up, get these modes, get as many as possible, and bank and get this going. Oh, I got an exotic. Yeah, I got the helm. I think it had a pretty good roll too. So yeah, now we got our modes. We're gonna summon our Primeval. At this point, we gotta do some damage. You know, everything is chip damage. I recommend, you know, for the 1st and 2nd slayers of the damage phase, you just kind of use your special and your primary, because those are, you know, things that you can replenish your ammo pretty easily. While with power ammo, not so much. I tend to hold my power for the 3rd phase unless my teammates have like crazy damage boosts and, you know, we're just all gonna melt immediately. Then I wouldn't be afraid to try. But in a game like this, if you're aware that people invade a lot, if they're not, you know, hesitant to come through, even if you don't do any damage, like right now we didn't even do any damage to the Primeval and this guy's already invading, then hold your ammo, right? Just hold your ammo, wait it out. Don't even kill the final wizard. That's another big key thing that, you know, helps me win my games. And when my teammates tend to kill the wizard when someone's invading, I feel like it hinders your match and it makes you lose, you know, even more easily. So in our situation, our wizard was still up and we got rid of the invader, so we didn't lose our damage phase. Here, the Wardcliff shot 2 freaking rockets. I'm like, what? But I work with it. You know, you can't let things like that bother you in a moment. You got to keep going. You got to, you know, go to step B. And that was my super at this point. So I managed to get 2 kills in that situation, fully healed the Primeval. Now I'm coming back. I got the perk that allows me to have more damage whenever I get like invader kills. So that's going to help me do a little bit of DPS. I'm just using my primary special here, throwing some grenades, doing some chip damage, you know, things to put pressure on the enemy team to come over and try to heal the Primeval. Because if they lose one guy on the other side, you know, they lose a player to deal with the wizards and they lose a player to, oh my god, that's snipe. And they lose a player to do damage. So that's better in our book. This guy invaded, he rushed up. Like I said, at this point, I'm kind of in the zone. I'm focused, bro. I'm going for it. So he invades. My snipes are like on point now. Because once you got my attention, you know, you're kind of like wired in. You're taking your shots. You're kind of just reacting. So at this point, I thought we lost the game. But they missed our opportunity. They didn't kill the boss before the overshield came up. And I was like, all right, this is a point where I have to pop off. And I'm not taking any chances. I just pulled off the rocket kill right here at close range when I could have used my primary or gone for the melee. You cannot take any risks now. It's all about use whatever you can, do damage, take care of the situation, like delay as much as possible. That's another thing. You don't want to die. Even if you have like 10 seconds and you die, oh my god, I feel like that's a fell invasion. You want to always take advantage of all the seconds you got. So now that I realize we're doing some trip damage, I'm not getting my hopes up or anything. I'm not thinking we're going to make a comeback because, you know, they still do so much damage and anything can happen, right? You know, in these type of situations, you want to be aware of the worst. You want to be aware that, hey, there's a huge possibility I'm going to lose, but we're doing a pretty good job of catching up. We made a, you know, we're doing some progress here. We're not completely getting destroyed. If they win, then I can safely say, and happily say that, hey, well, at least we didn't get destroyed as bad as I originally thought whenever I was frustrated, because that was in the past. That was in the previous, you know, experience in this match. So now that we got here, we destroyed the wizard with a super. It was a perfect opportunity. We wanted to get this damage immediately before someone invaded. And just like that, just spamming my sniper shots, we got the Primeval Slayer times like 4 or 3, something like that, and we managed to win. Now these guys on the other side did not manage to kill their wizards in time because I invaded, and when I got back, you know, the super just destroyed them all, and we got the DPS phase before they did. So they were probably around the final wizard, like barely about to start doing damage, but by that point, like I said, we had killed it already. It was a lot of fun, and damn man, like it's just the gambit comebacks, bro. Like the intense matches. Sometimes, you know, you're too tired for it, but when you're in it and you're giving the game mode a chance, you're realizing, hey, it's destiny. Bullshit, you know, there's crutches and everybody has the ability spam. You can't take it too serious, but you can at the same time. It just helps to create a fun experience just like the one that I had. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. And let me know if you want to see more of these. Definitely want to practice and get better with my post commentary videos. Hope you enjoyed listening, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace, guys.